The sun was setting over the small town of Millfield as a group of 5 friends pulled up to an old abandoned mill on the outskirts of town. They had heard rumors that the mill was haunted, and they were looking for a thrill. As they explored the mill, they found evidence that someone was living there. There were blankets on the floor, food wrappers, and empty water bottles scattered around. They decided to leave, but as they turned to go, they saw a figure in the shadows. It was a man, dressed in tattered clothing and holding a large, rusty chainsaw. The group tried to run, but the man chased after them, revving the chainsaw and laughing maniacally. They ran deeper into the mill, but soon found themselves trapped in a room with no way out. The man with the chainsaw burst in and attacked, leaving the friends with no choice but to fight for their lives. One by one, the friends fell to the chainsaw-wielding maniac. The first to go was Amy, who was caught off guard and had her throat slashed. Mark tried to fight back, but was overpowered and had his head cut off. Dave managed to grab a metal pipe and knock the man down, but he wasn't able to finish him off before the man got back up and killed him with the chainsaw. Only 2 friends were left, Sarah and Brian. They managed to find a way out of the room and tried to escape through the mill, but the man was always one step behind them. They ran up and down stairs, through dark corridors, and over piles of debris, but the man continued to pursue them relentlessly. Finally, they reached a room at the top of the mill. There was a window, but it was too small for them to fit through. They had no choice but to fight. Sarah grabbed a piece of metal rebar and swung at the man, but he dodged and swung his chainsaw at her. She narrowly avoided it and swung again, hitting him in the arm and causing him to drop the chainsaw. Brian quickly grabbed it and swung it at the man, slicing him in half. Panting and covered in blood, Sarah and Brian managed to climb out of the window and down the side of the mill. They ran all the way back to town, where they called the police. When the police arrived at the mill, they found the man's body and a diary that he had been keeping. It detailed his descent into madness after losing his job at the mill and being evicted from his home. He had been living in the abandoned mill ever since, surviving on rats and rainwater. He had become obsessed with the chainsaw and used it to kill anyone who stumbled upon his hideout. Sarah and Brian were hailed as heroes, but they never forgot the terror of that night at the abandoned mill. They both moved away from Millfield and never spoke of it again, but the memory of the chainsaw-wielding maniac haunted them for the rest of their lives.